Welcome to Draft Breakdown, the show where we insult the coaches of professional League of Legends teams for not drafting better. If you want an idea about how I evaluate drafts, there's a link in the description below. Our game for today? The World Elite versus G2 Esports Game 1 in their semi-final series at MSI 2017. Without further delay, let's jump right into the game. Alright, first, let's look at the top lane split push matchup. Here, we have Rumble versus Gragas. Now, Rumble is actually a very interesting champion. He wins every single lane and is a good pick in just about every team composition. Now, of course, all of this power comes at a cost, and that cost is that he can't split push at all. So advantage here goes to World Elite. Now, let's look at bot lane synergy. World Elite's bot lane is Caitlyn Malzahar. Caitlyn is the type of AD carry that wants to stay at the back and wait for late game. Malzahar helps with that game plan by ulting one guy who might be trying to dive Caitlyn. Not really the best combination, since Caitlyn would rather have someone who can either peel multiple people off, like Braum or Alistar, or someone who can buff the Caitlyn, like Nami. Unfortunately for the Caitlyn, four of her best supports have been banned in this game. For G2 on the other hand, they have Ashe Taric as their bot lane. Now, Ashe plays a much more supportive role, so Taric doesn't really have to support her as much. What Ashe brings to the table is her enchanted crystal arrow. So, does Taric help with that? The answer is yes. Taric's ultimate makes it super hard for the engaged on team to fight back, which makes Ashe that much more effective. Because of this, I would give the advantage in the bot lane to G2. Next, we have the overall team composition. With a tank top lane in the Gragas, along with the support jungler in Ivern, World Elite are looking to be a protect the AD carry composition, with the long-range Caitlyn doing most of the damage. The Lucian pick in the mid lane, however, has the exact opposite idea. Lucian wants to rush in and fight the enemy head-on, while the rest of his team wants to stay back and peel for the Caitlyn. The Lucian will have absolutely no support, and will have to hope that G2's team is one that is weak to Lucian for him to do anything. Sadly, that is not the case. G2's team is what I like to call a rampage composition. Its goal is to engage really hard and fast and just run down the enemy team. They engage with the Ashe ultimate, and when it hits, Taric immediately starts his ultimate, and Rumble casts the equalizer to cut off any escape. Olaf and Rumble will run amok on the enemy team, and since they have the invincibility from Taric's ultimate, the enemy team won't be able to counterattack. The most out of place champion on this team is the Victor, but even he has insane synergy with the rest of the team. Gravity Field is a lot better when there's an equalizer, and Chaos Storm can take advantage of the chaos sown by the rest of the G2 squad. So when the two teams face, the advantage goes to G2. The only disengage World Elite has is the explosive cast from Gragas, and even that won't stop the Olaf with his Ragnarok up. Furthermore, the Lucian can never really engage, since that would just play into G2's plan. And if he ever does find a slim window of opportunity, Gravity Field will be there to ruin his day. Overall, I'd give G2 3 points for this draft. One for having a more cohesive team, one for having the more advantageous archetype, and one for making the Lucian pick be almost completely worthless. This leaves the draft score at 4-1 in favor of G2. If World Elite wants to win, they'll have to gain a massive advantage early on to offset the major disadvantage they received in the draft phase. While they do get an early advantage, it isn't massive, so they end up losing because of their poor draft. Now, what could both teams have done better? G2 can't really have done anything better since they absolutely beat World Elite in this particular draft. Their team composition probably would have preferred a Cassiopeia over a Victor. However, Victor just completely invalidates Lucian, so Victor was probably still the superior pick. One small thing is that they probably should have picked Olaf before the second ban phase. Having a Taric with an Olaf is a liability, while Olaf can still do well even without Taric. World Elite, on the other hand, could have done a lot better. First, the Malzahar is a pretty bad pick. I would have preferred to see a Nami or a Braum to better complement the Caitlyn. Next, after seeing G2 pick Taric, they probably should have instantly banned Olaf, since the synergy of the two champions is just too great. This would have replaced the Fiora ban, which is questionable to begin with since G2 already had a top lane rumble. Lastly, they definitely shouldn't have picked Lucian as their mid laner. The Lucian doesn't synergize at all with the rest of the World Elite draft and won't be supported by any champion. Furthermore, World Elite already knows that G2 is running a rampage composition, and Lucian does so poorly against that. The Lucian was terrible for his team and terrible against the enemy team. That particular pick was a crash and burn disaster that single handedly cost World Elite this game. An Orianna, Talia, or any other control mage would have been a much better pick for World Elite, since these picks would have synergized better with the protect the AD carry composition that World Elite had drafted. It would also have helped stave off the aggression from the G2 composition, and would have probably given World Elite a much better chance at winning. So there you have it. The draft phase was going pretty evenly until World Elite decided to throw it all away with the game losing Lucian pick. I'll be doing the other games of these series in the near future, so if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe. Alright, that's my time. This is Ron Hub VHCM saying, do what you're good at.